An interesting poll by Angus Reid about how much confidence Canadians have in various public institutions. Here, take a look at this graph. Let's start at the bottom. Just 10% of Canadians have a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in the Senate. Well, now that's no surprise given the controversies roiling that place these past years. But lest any member of the House of Commons or other elected politicians think they're somehow higher in public esteem, well, yeah, they are by 2%. Only 12% of Canadians say they have a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in politicians in general, and just 13% say so about political parties. Now, the institution of Parliament itself, the House of Commons that is respected by 28% of Canadians. That's still amazingly low when you think about it. I mean, that's the place that passes our laws, debates the grand issues of the day and the small issues too, that passes tax hikes and budgets, and its support is just 28%. But again, look who else is down in the basement, right with them. According to this poll, the media, well, just 31% of Canadians respect the media. Why? I mean, I get why people don't like the Senate. It's a big cost to taxpayers and people don't see any use to it. I get why people hate politicians. There's a feeling you can't trust them. And of course, they're always taxing you or regulating you, telling you what to do. But the media, I mean, that's different, isn't it? Other than the CBC, none of them can tax you. So why do Canadians hate the media? I think it's because of my concept, the media party, where journalists are actually campaigning for their own interests and their views like politicians do, but they're just pretending to be neutral about it. The media love affair with the celebrity terrorist Omar Khadr is my favorite example of this because it's so clear. I mean, every normal Canadian hates and fears al-Qaeda terrorists like Omar Khadr. But the media love him and turn him into a folk hero. Now, we see that. And so we disrespect journalists who spin us while pretending they're neutral or objective. But look at this, the courts. 51% of Canadians say they respect the courts, and 61% say they respect the Supreme Court. Now, in a sense, that's hopeful. Massive disrespect for the courts would mean a breakdown in the rule of law, but I put it to you that those numbers are still low. If 51% of Canadians respect the courts, it implies, well, 49% don't, or at least don't respect them very much. And here's my theory why. Because the courts have become like those other two disgraced professions I've mentioned, politicians and the media. Canadians, time and again, say that we want tougher criminal justice. They want criminals to serve their full sentence, not to get parole after 1/3 of their jail time. Parliament keeps passing tough on crime laws, like mandatory minimum sentences for various crimes, for example. And the unelected courts keep striking down those laws. They're actually legislating from the court instead of from Parliament. I use the phrase media party a lot, but there's also a court party too. And like the discredited media, it tilts left. And that's the last point. Judges are becoming more and more celebrity media types too. So they're not just politicians now, they're pundits. I mean, take the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court herself, Beverly McLaughlin. She gives extremely political speeches, weighing in on live controversies of the day. Earlier this summer, she said that Canada had committed, quote, cultural genocide against Aboriginal people. That is a shocking thing to say. It is deeply radical, it is highly divisive, and it's frankly insulting not just to Canada's true history, but it devalues actual genocide. She gave this extremist speech like a politician would, like a media pundit would, and then she went back to sit on the bench at the court as if she's a neutral and objective judge. I mean, seriously, how can she ever sit on a case involving Aboriginal legal matters again? Now, I'm glad our courts aren't as disreputable as our politicians and our media. But I think our courts, starting with our chief judge, need to choose. Do they really want to be judges or just extremely highly paid, impossible to fire politicians with even less accountability than the Senate? I mean, seriously, when was the last time you saw a Supreme Court judge's expense claim like you can see for senators? So if the judges want to be reputable judges, great. But if they want to continue their slow slide into politics, then let them be scrutinized and criticized and attacked and eventually hated, just like democracies do with other politicians. For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.